everyone, welcome to the Season 2 Mid-Season Update stream. I'm your host, Keenan, or Keyman45, your community manager. I'm the dude who exchanges your feedback and, lets it know to the development team so we can improve the game. Today I have Adam, or the Keats, otherwise known as the dude who, gives you a run for your money at the end of your final rings.
Occasionally, yeah. I'm out there throwing hands.
For sure. And friendly reminder, restreaming is encouraged. We love seeing your reactions. Please tag us wherever you're at on social media. We want to see your thoughts on the changes coming today. First up, we will be showing some new exciting gameplay content, including a new special move family, a new weapon, a new perk, and something golden.
Ooh, what could it be? How
Yeah.
mysterious.
Yeah. Cool. So, first up, we're going to cover something some of you have been playing with already. Power Mist. This is the epic variety of the Mist family. This is a power move that stuns for a combo.
Sure does. I'll go ahead and equip it real quick in case you haven't played since we patched this in through a hotfix. It just works like your mists tend to work. You give it a little press, you give it a little spit, stuns people, you get the combo of your choice. Very nice. The difference being here that it is a power move, which means it follows power move rules. So if I miss this, I cannot bail out. So I'm not able to dodge out of that early. So it is a pretty big commitment, but it is going to be able to beat various things in a trade because it's a power move. So Keenan, if you want to try, do you have a Cosmo Shot or something equipped?
I do.
Okay, let's do this. You go ahead and block one, and then we'll go for the trade. See, that beats cleanly the Cosmo Shot. Do you have an uppercut?
Let me grab that.
Let's see if we can get it to trade.
Oop, not here.
This gives us a little more time for more people to connect to the show anyway, or we're showing something they've seen.
For sure.
Okay, ready? Cool. All right, here we go. Okay, that was a little weird. Let's do it again. It did clash, but there we go. That's what I was looking for. So it'll clash with other power moves because it is a power move. Mm-hmm. People are saying the video feed on the stream is really laggy, so they're not seeing stuff. So we'll hold for a second and see what we can do about that.
Sure. Maybe I'll just pop a squat and take a breather. Working on that on our end. Okay.
Is there anything we can talk about while we wait?
Yeah. We made a little tweak. Chat. How's it looking? Does this look any better?
I have it open. It looks like our video feeds are clean, but the gameplay is really low frame rate. So we'll want to get that fixed before we proceed for sure.
Yeah.
Feel free to chime in, stream director, if you need us to try anything.
Yeah. What do you like pairing Power Mist with, Adam?
Well, because Power Mist is a power move, I tend to like to pair it with a strike. Because you get in that situation a lot where you're pressing a strike special and so is your opponent, so you can clash those together, right? Mm-hmm. And pretty often you'll see two people just, SumoSlap each other over and over again. But having a power move lets you blow through that. And there's really no button they can press that's better than that unless they're in super mode or unless they're able to block or dodge or whatever. But if they're committing to buttons, usually your best bet's going to be to throw out a power move if they're being predictable.
For sure, yeah. It gives me ways to think about how I want to approach using it. I haven't run into it too much this season. I don't know if it's my luck, but I have definitely run into others having it, but I have not successfully taken it away from them too many times.
I got absolutely ruined by someone using Power Mist last night, actually. It can be very scary because, that power priority mixed with that big stun means that they can turn that into some pretty sweet ring out action, depending on the type of positioning you have, or very easily turn that into kind of a longer sequence against a wall or whatever.
Gotcha. I think we're getting a message to swap where we're currently streaming.
Do we want to switch to Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to require some effort from me, so give me a moment.
Yeah, 1 sec, folks. Thanks for the patience. I'm gonna read some stuff in chat. We needs a Keats shirt. What would a Keats shirt look like?
I think they want my Rumbleverse shirt with
Oh,
the rainbow logo.
I would take a shirt in game with Keats's face though. What do we think about that?
That did not work. Give me a second here. Do that. Okay. I got a feed up on Discord for you guys to grab. See if that works for you. Sorry about the delay, everybody. A little technical difficulty. We've been blessed to not have these the last few tries, so we were overdue, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Streaming's a blow up, as they always say. I've been loving the randomize outfit button lately. This is
Why is that?
little off topic, but there are just so many accessories in the game now that randomizer is just giving me gold constantly. I'm just getting the weirdest combinations, and
I feel
I'm
so
having a
lucky
blast with it.
too. I'm partial to when we or when you have certain items that just like match already. Like I feel like we've given a lot of thought to how certain items are gonna blend well, even if they're not a part of the same set. So
Right.
I love when that works out in our
Yeah,
favor.
I do too. It's pretty fun.
Okay, we're seeing the preview on our end. It should
Yeah, it
be
looks like we've
up
almost got this resolved.
momentarily.
Everybody, just give us another second here, and
Hmm.
hopefully we'll be able to get you back to your tour of the mid-season update. Looks like we're almost there.
And
Okay,
boom, we've
let's
arrived.
see how this goes.
There
See
you
how it
go.
looks for folks.
All right, so we just
We good?
introduced Power Mist. Oh
I
yeah,
think we're
just
good.
double check. Yep, let's go. Looking good, much better. Great,
Okay,
thank you
great.
for the chat.
Yay! All right.
But yeah, we just quickly went over Power Mist. Are we ready to introduce the next?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So, saw a lot of speculation here. A lot of people around the last update were like, "Wait, that thing that I saw in the trailer isn't a miss?" No, it's not. We are adding the Roar family of special moves. This comes in common, rare, and epic varieties. You get to yell really loud to buff your teammates and buff yourself. If enemies are in the way, they'll be pushed back. You can essentially become a support character, break up crowds, yell. Truly inspirational stuff here.
Yeah, so I'm going to equip the first two tiers here. We got the Empowering Roar. It's going to give you a damage buff, gives it to yourself and your teammates. And I've got the Energizing Roar. This is going to be a stamina regen buff. Again, gives it to yourself and the teammates. So if you don't have any teammates, they're all KO'd, or you're alone, you can still buff yourself with this. So here's what it looks like. You got this big cone AoE, vicious move, no damage, but just shoves people out of the way. This can be really good for like ledge guarding or pushing people out of the ring. It's pretty cool. And you can see I've got this buff for 30 seconds now. Quite expensive stamina wise. And again, it's a vicious move, so I'm not going to be able to, whiff it and dodge cancel or bail out. But if I do hit somebody, whoops, hold on, let me get my stamina back. Let me hit you with this real quick. So if I do hit somebody, I will be able to bail out. And the Energizing Roar is going to be a stamina buff for 30 seconds. If you have Energizing Roar, it's like having infinite small stamina drinks in your pocket. Basically, every time you press this button, you refresh your small stamina drink. Now, is that worth sacrificing one special move slot for? Maybe. Depends on your play style. And if you're on a team, certainly that can be incredibly useful. And it's a lot less of a sacrifice to use one special move slot if you're on a team. But let's check out another feature of this too. Stand right over here against the wall, please. Really close to the wall. You got to be really close to the wall for this one. It can wall splat, but they got to be real close to the wall. So you can get a little damage off of it. And I'll show you what the air version looks like as well. It kind of shouts downwards in a big cone. So you can hit groups below you with it. Really, really useful move. I've won solo matches with these equipped, I think, especially the Energizing Roar. These can be really incredible. But this one really takes the cake. This is the tier 3 Nourishing Roar. This is a health regen buff for yourself and allies. It's not the fastest health regen buff, and look at the 70 stamina just to pop this out here. But go ahead and give me a couple hits, Keenan, so we can see what the health regen is like. That's plenty. So you can see my health is regenning. Not the fastest, but if you can keep this on for a lot of the match, you're really going to get a ton of value out of it. And refreshing it again is as simple as just hitting that button. So if you are on a team of 4 in the squads mode, and let's say I have Nourishing Roar and Keenan has Energizing Roar, and we can keep each other buffed, we can also still carry both a pretty good strike or a vicious move to disrupt enemies with, while our other teammates, mix it up with folks. So really, really neat addition to the game, especially in team play. Quads is going to be coming out. We'll get to that in a little bit, and I really want you guys to try these and enjoy them. We love them.
Yeah, definitely very fun in team modes. Now, some quick questions for how I choose to interact with it.
Oh, sure.
Can I dodge it?
Yeah, so you want to try dodging it on reaction to the red flash?
Sure.
Yep, you got the dodge there. But if you do dodge this and you want to punish it, you're going to want to dodge towards the user always. So go ahead and try that. That puts you close enough to me for that punish. It doesn't have the most recovery in the world, but if you dodge towards people, you'll get a pretty consistent punish on that if they're a little sloppy with it. Of course, if they're on a team, they're going to have teammates to cover them. And if you do hit a teammate with this, you see Keenan's not my teammate. I hit him, he gets pushed back. If you hit a teammate with this, they don't go anywhere. There's no reaction at all. They're just like a little hit spark and they're buffed and they get to keep going about their business. So if you see a big crowd fight, just roaring into the crowd pushes all the enemies away and keeps all of your teammates stable, which is really, really cool.
Now, since there is the 3 different tiers, is the range for them all the same, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
it's identical range. Good question.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Now let's introduce a new weapon, also spotted in our trailer a little bit ago. Adam's walking over now. These come in common, rare, and epic varieties. Every young rumbler dreams of doing rad martial arts moves with a huge push broom instead of sweeping the garage. Now you can too. It hits many times and pairs pretty well with Sadistic. Let's see some combos or see it in action.
Yeah, that's definitely a personal story. Every time I was asked to clean the garage as a child, I would use the push broom as a bow staff and pretend to do sick martial arts. So now you can see we've added the broom to the game, and it has the widest move set of any move we've added, any weapon we've added since the key bat. So let's check out the basic combo here. We got a little stab, followed by a big spin, and then you get this kind of vault move. Really cool. So on hit, that looks like this. Lots of hits. Flicks them up into the air. That little launcher is pretty cool. A teammate could get a nice little combo off that. But the broom also has extensions on the vicious button, so you can do strike, strike, vicious, and do this little overhead thing. This does a ton of stamina damage, so if you're trying to stamina break somebody, this is a really good ender option. And then lastly, you can do strike into vicious, and this is a wall splat option. So if you're trying to get a wall splat with this weapon, that's the one you're going to want to go for. Has pretty good knockback on it. So yeah, it's a broom, but it's also like a sick bow staff. And the air moves for it, you're going to have your elbow drop so you can avoid using the durability. And you're also going to have the stop sign pogo move here, which can be useful for tagging people on the ground. But where the broom gets really interesting is when we tap that vicious button. We do a little sweep. And of course, you can hold that and steer and keep sweeping. And you have a pretty tight turn radius on this, and it'll drain your stamina while you go. So you can sweep up a whole crowd with this thing. And interestingly enough, vicious moves do not break this weapon instantly, so you could actually tear through a whole crowd and hit everybody with it. And of course, it also works as a ground attack, so feel free to knock people down and then sweep them up. And that's the broom.
Gotcha. Welcome the broom family of weapons to the game. Now let's chat about some new perks. First, someone you've already been playing with already, Rude. This was added in the previous update. When you emote near an enemy, you gain a 20% damage boost for 25 seconds.
That's right. I just did it.
There you go. How rude of you to
Now
do
I hit
that
harder.
towards me. And then next up, let's chat about a new perk called Guts. When you are low on health, you'll deal additional damage.
Yeah, I actually equipped that before we started, and you can see it on this screen here. Guts deal 20% more damage when your HP is critical. So there are quite a lot of things in the game that can raise your attack damage now. Rude can raise your attack damage. Temper, Guts if you're low on health. Super mode, you could have somebody use the empowering roar on you. You could blow the horn over on Loki Key. So there are a lot of, those are all stackable things. There are a lot of things you can get that stack and can let you hit somebody ridiculously hard if you happen to kind of get them all together, which is really cool. Critical health is going to be the same health that you would need to be at to get the hungry status effect, which is 30%.
Arms pod users, rejoice. you're gonna be doing so much damage, especially if you get the 10 or the 5.
Yeah, you can get pretty severe if you get the right perks in the right situation.
Cool. Next up, let's talk about a new feature.
Okay.
The locked crate. These are very heavy and hard to move. Let's demo it.
Yeah, let me just grab a couple key bats for no particular reason.
No particular reason.
All right. Look, a locked crate. You're going to find these all around Grappital City, but not very often. They're much more likely to spawn where gold crates usually spawn. But if you do see one, you're going to find that this is how fast you move when you hold them. You cannot dash while holding it at all. Here's my jump height. Here's my boost jump height. You're pretty encumbered with this thing. It's very heavy. I'm going to throw it at Keenan just to show you the damage. It hits pretty hard, 300. But it does not go very far at all. That's about as far as it goes, so I'll throw it in a different direction here. You can see, yeah, that's about it. So it's pretty heavy. And also, go ahead and put that down, Keenan. If we look at the text here, it says it's a legendary item container, and you can open it with an undamaged keybat. So let's try to open it with our fists. We cannot do it. There is nothing we can do to open this at all. It will never open. So I'm going to grab a keybat here, and I'm going to give Keenan a whack and break my keybat. And you can see the difference. This unbroken keybat has a key on top. This broken one does not have a key on top. So if we take the one that's broken, we're not getting in. We're not getting the goods. No, no, sir. So let's take our undamaged one and see if we can get in there. Boom! We've opened it. And these locked crates are going to contain some ridiculous items. First up, you got your gold sauce chicken. This gold sauce chicken, let me put it back on the ground so you can read it. It just restores health. It's got 4 durability. But how much health? Let's check it out. 500. That pairs extremely well with Insatiable because you're going to get 750 per bite for 4 bites. Very, very strong. Takes up 1 pocket for all that. You got your gold stamina drink. This is going to give you the same buff as a stamina drink usually does, but for 3 whole minutes. This thing is really good to pop in a final ring. Really, really, really game-changing stuff here. And there's one more item you can get out of these things. Let's see if I get it this try. If not, I'll just go grab one from the item pile. We did get it. Yay. This is the Gold Star Cookie. This builds Superstar Meter. But Adam, how much Superstar Meter? Well, let me drain mine real quick and we'll see how much Superstar Meter a Gold Star Cookie will build for you. All right, here we go. Delicious Gold Star Cookie. There's all my Super Meter back. 100% of it. And yes, you can pocket all 3 of these items. So if you do find a locked crate and you have an undamaged keybat, smash it open. Get 2 of these amazing items, throw them in your pocket, and hopefully use them to win the game. Or get hit by Liberate and drop them on the ground and cry. So, that could happen as well.
Definitely.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I got to show you one more really cool feature about these. Let me throw that on the ground. I got to go get one more keybat. I'm sorry. All right. Check out my keybat's VFX. If you can see, it's a little bit sparkly, you know. That's how it always looks. I'm walking around. Oh, my keybat's looking a little different now. Now it's got some extra VFX, a little extra sparkle. That means I'm getting closer to a locked crate. So this is going to help you find one. So now I'm moving. Oh, now it's really sparkly. Now I know I'm getting pretty close to a locked crate. And hopefully that will help you find one. And the last question I want to answer is, if you got Pocket Dimension, yeah, you can pocket it. Then if you find the keybat later, you can put them together.
Stash it for later, yeah.
Very cool new feature. Very excited for you guys to try that in matches. Really cool.
Yeah, we'll see that stock go up on Keybat and see how much people are chasing down for that key, especially when you're holding it and seeing the reflections. I imagine even more folks are gonna come after you because it's like, hey, I know the pairing is nearby.
I'll just wait till you open it and try and steal one of the items personally.
That's
but what I like to do with keybats is I won't use them until the final ring when I know I'm not going to find a locked crate, because I actually do find the contents of these crates to be so valuable that if I do find one, I want to open it and get that stuff instead. But if you have the undamaged keybat in the final ring, you can just use it as a weapon then if you want.
And then, it looks like when I look closer at this crate, I'm seeing a little symbol. I don't know what it is. I did see a new Reddit page talking about the Kraken. I have no clue what that's about, but a nice little symbol here. I don't know what that's about.
It's an unfamiliar word for me. I don't know what Kraken even means.
Yeah, never heard that before. Cool. Let's go on to some miscellaneous improvements. You can now see your stats after a restricted match. Shout out Tupperware, Orlando's, everyone that's doing restricted matches. Hopefully this will improve the experience for you all. Next up, we will be testing Quads Battle Royale for a few weeks starting on January 17th. Our intention is to release this as a full mode, so please give it a try and give us your feedback.
Yeah, Quads players are going to start with even less HP and only 4 pods. So it's a really quick, high-octane, high-action mode filled with abrupt chaos, clutch plays, sick revives. It's really, really, really fun, and you're definitely going to want to try it. And if you only have a trio, you can drop into Quads as a trio, and you'll have a little bit more HP and a little bit more pods than the Quads players. And that's certainly much more achievable to win than soloing a trio game. But you can try that too. You can try to solo a quad game if you want.
I'm sure there's plenty that will.
Yeah.
Cool. Now on to the beefy stuff. Our balance changes. We're gonna go over them, and as a reminder, all of these patch notes will be on our blog the morning the update goes live. As a reminder, that's on January 17th.
That's right.
Coming up pretty soon. It'll include a few changes and fixes that we won't be going over today, as a reminder. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. Now, welcome to the Season 2 mid-season update. While hearing about the many changes and bug fixes that we have for you today, please keep in mind that the game is a balance, is the sum of all parts. Taking any one of these changes in a vacuum may paint an inaccurate picture. We'd like to encourage you to play the game with fresh eyes and give it some time to feel out how all the puzzle pieces fit together. We'll continue to watch you play and listen to your feedback, as we always do, and we'll work hard to bring the game into a harmonious state. Thanks for being a part of this journey with us.
Yeah. So for my part of this spiel, while many of these changes were directly inspired by community feedback, please remember you don't have to agree with every change we make. Not every change is going to be aimed at you or your playstyle, and we're going to provide you with our reasoning for each change so that even if you disagree, you can at least get a window into our thought process. Please keep in mind that changes later on this list may affect how you feel about things you hear earlier in the presentation. So it's a sum of all parts. Be patient, and let's begin right here with the most controversial change on today's list. We're going to start with that one. So while I think a lot of players are going to instantly cheer for this change, some may feel more uncertain about it. And in our internal testing, even the harshest naysayers about this change came around on it pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And we strongly feel that it makes the game more thoughtful and interesting. Normally we'd show this change later in the show and kick off the show by showing you more of the things you were asking for. But in this case, I think this change is so important to be aware of as you hear about the rest of the list that we wanted to start with this one. So Keenan, go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, so the wall splat unification changes in 2.0 have made it much easier to understand the combo limits presented in the game. However, we feel that this change has made long combos much too common and easy to extend. As a result, the following changes have been made.
Yeah, we lowered the wall splat limit to 2. It was 3. So now the second wall splat is going to end any combo. Let's take a look. 1 wall splats, 2 wall splats. Combo is over. So if you want to get those extensions with Charged Chop, you can still get them. You just got to do it after the first wall splat. And that does make converting into those Charged Chop setups a little trickier if you're super far from the wall when you start the combo. Keenan, if you could walk over here. So if I were to do Irish Whip towards the wall, a lot of people would normally run up and do this to make the confirm really easy, but that won't work anymore. So you're going to have to make that decision a lot earlier, and still very possible, but you gotta be a little more on your toes about it. So I want to note that the team is not at all against long combos, but this is a situation that made long combos way too common and way too easy. The second wall splat just made it way too simple to reposition for a charge chop and just keep it going and going and going. Led to a lot of stamina breaks and things that were just way too easy to get off of some of the most dangerous and quick moves in the game, like Irish Whip. So one other thing we did was we changed the damage scaling multiplier after a wall splat to 0.9. It was 0.75. So you're going to do a lot more damage on your follow-ups after a wall splat than you used to, which is nice. Where are the crushers? Let me do Diamond Crusher here. So you can see what I mean by scaling. Diamond Crusher's base damage, as we all know, is 316. No particular reason for that. And if I wall splat Keenan and then do my Diamond Crusher, I'm going to get 284, which is pretty high. So it's not a big hit. It used to do quite a bit less than that. It would do 25% less instead of 10% less. So the damage is still up there. I think it's really going to help the pacing of the game. And like I said, our harshest naysayers came around on this pretty quick. And we're like, yeah, this is better. There's still lots of really cool conversions and long combos, but this situation was just too common and a little too repetitive for our tastes. So
Yeah.
that's the controversial one. The Band-Aid is off on that one. And let's move on to the stuff you guys are actually asking for.
Sure, yeah. And something personally I like to add on for the folks, when you say that, oh, the third party, the fourth party, the fifth party, the 40th party,
Yeah,
you're getting that damage more up front now because of that change. So remember, sum of all
true.
parts, keep that in mind. Get that damage up front so you can get back into the rotation of
Very true.
stuff. Yeah. Now, onto the SumoSlap family. It's received some nerfs to lower its overall utility, but some buffs in the face of these nerfs to ensure it still has a valuable place in the game.
Yeah, so we're gonna show a SumoSlap nerf, and then a SumoSlap buff, and then a nerf, and then a buff, because we're trying to make sure that this has a good place in the game, and it's not just all nerfs. So SumoSlap had too much utility. It did everything other than damage. It's one of the fastest moves in the game. That's not a chop. It's multi-hit, so it pairs really good with multi-hit perks. It can be kept relatively safe both on the ground and in the air. Does huge displacement, like really pushed people super far back. So that was really nice for knocking people off roofs or keeping them out of the ring, or of course getting a wall splat, which it did from a mile away, like farther than almost anything in the game other than like super kick. And it did massive stamina damage, so it could break your stamina for additional massive combos afterwards. So it didn't really matter that the damage was really low on SumoSlap.
Hmm.
The other problem there too was, when we did try lowering the damage, the final ring ended up being a lot of people using SumoSlap because it's such a high utility move and pairs with basically every build. And I would hit Keenan with SumoSlap, do 80 damage, and he would build so much super meter from getting hit by that he would just get a comeback or another super to heal it all back up. And we'd basically be trading sumo slaps until one of us got DQ'd from a ring out. And that's not a great experience. So
Hmm.
here's what we did. Keenan, what was the first change?
Yep. So, Air Sumo Slap will now use the ground bailout instead of the air bailout when attempting to bail out from the air.
That's correct. So it used to use the air dodge animation and let you kind of float around in the air. It was very hard to punish. And now it uses the ground dodge animations. So it feels much like most air strikes feel.
Hmm. Next up, the landing recovery time of the Air Sumo Slap now allows a bailout, even on miss, following the usual bailout rules.
This was already true of most strikes that use the ground bailouts in the air as well. So if I miss and then I land, I won't be stuck there anymore. I'll still be able to bail out all the way to the end. So you can still really, press people with this and use it offensively, but the way that people call out that dodge and punish it is going to be a lot easier to understand, and you'll see it a lot more commonly.
Hmm. Sumo Slap can no longer cause a wall splat and will instead knock the victim down in front of you.
Excuse me? Let's see it in action. Let's see what the knockdown looks like. That does not push nearly as far away and puts Keenan on his back immediately. And let's check it out against the wall. It can no longer wall splat at all, ever, no matter how close you are to the wall. And this really changes the purpose of the move from being like this all-purpose starter and, health curing move to a thing that you kind of want to use to poke to wear people down. And you're going to get some damage from it, but it's not going to lead to much without that stamina break. And it's usually something you're actually going to end a combo with if you have Sadistic and want to heal. So this is a pretty big change for SumoSlap.
Yep. And then now the last change. Damage from the final hit of Sumo Slap has increased to, I'm going to list these out in common, rare, and epic, 80, 80, 100. And it was previously 40, 40, 60.
Right. So now instead of this being, miserably low damage, the damage is actually decent. It's less damage than your basic combo. So this is going to be like 150, and your sumo slaps are going to be a little bit lower than that. But it's not so bad that you're not actually like getting anywhere by using it. So that's really nice. And you can see the sumo slap fully charged. It's still going to do 100 on that final hit. So
Yep.
yeah, that's a pretty big overhaul to the sumo slap. In our playtests internally, we found that this is still a pretty cool move that people like using and has a really good place in the game, but it's no longer a move that people put in every single build just because they happen to walk across one. It's more of a move people take because they need a fast strike or they got sadistic or whatever else. So yeah, I think this will make a lot of people really happy.
Good callouts, and that concludes our Sumo Slap changes. Next up, let's keep talking about how stamina damage works in the game. We've lowered Spinkick stamina damage on hit to 18. It was 30. And with the ability to use this to start or extend a combo, it resulted in stamina breaks that came too often and too easily.
Yeah, the stamina damage on block is still the same as it was before, so any game feel you had for that is unchanged. Still, you can see I took a lot of stamina damage there, but on hit it's just a bit lower than it was. So go ahead and hit me with it. Used to do 30, now it does 18, and that's just going to reduce. When you're getting several of these in a combo off of walls and with teammates and stuff, it's going to reduce the likelihood that somebody's just going to have their stamina bar absolutely explode because you used basic attacks on them.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Next up, well, we like the dive family's ability to ground attack, which can turn a knockdown into a bigger damage opportunity. We've observed that there are too many common situations after high damage vicious attacks that allow a guaranteed dive follow-up without needing to bail out. This has led to lower stamina use than expected for long combo loops. To combat this, the following changes have been made. We've adjusted the recovery time for the attacker and victim after the Crusher family, Azuna Drop family, Chokeslam family, and Tackle family to remove the possibility of a guaranteed dive family or elbow follow-up without using a bailout. In some cases, even after a bailout, you will not get a guaranteed follow-up.
All right, let's check it out. I got Azuna Drop. That's one of the families that has less knockdown time. So I'm going to go for an elbow drop right after this lands. Keenan's going to try to escape it, and he gets up with plenty of time to spare. So we'll do the same thing with Dolphin Dive. See if we can get a Dolphin Dive after this. That's a no-go. What we really like about Dolphin Dive is this. We love you being able to do this. That's great. I missed the follow-up there for some reason. But what we didn't really like was that, your grab Ender also became your starter and led right back into the same loops. So what we've done instead of nerfing the Dolphin Dive so directly is we've taken a bunch of these moves that would slam you on the ground and let you pick somebody right back up and made it so that it's harder to get that follow-up, but you may still be able to get it with a bailout in some cases. So let's try that and see if we can get that with good Azuna Drop. What I'm going to do is bail out towards Keenan and then go for it right away. I didn't get there in time. I think I need a wall for this one, so let me try taking him towards the wall. Whoops, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, okay, I made it in time. So that's touchy, but you can do it. You just need to bail out. So that's going to add more stamina cost to that whole sequence if you want to go for it. And let's check that out on tackle. So you have one more example here. We'll use a javelin tackle. I'll go for the elbow drop right away. Keenan's able to get up in time. We'll do it again. I'll go for the dolphin dive right away. Not able to get there in time, but if I am willing to spend a little bit more stamina and use that bailout, I can definitely get him. So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment if you're a Dolphin Dive user. All the combos starting from Dolphin Dive are going to be the same, but the ones that start from a grab that lead into Dolphin Dive are going to be harder unless you use bailouts and have good positioning. But it's still going to be really useful for picking up your teammates' knockdowns and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you kind of followed along with all that and understand. We did one more thing to Dolphin Dive as well, which is a damage scaling change. Keenan, can you walk us through that one?
Yeah, so the dive family changed combo scaling value was from 0.75 to 0.6. The rewards for these combos were still a bit too high, which could make the dive family hard to pass up in pretty much most builds.
Yeah, so we'll check that out real quick. We got Super Azuna Drop doing base damage of 265 here. And if we start this with the Dolphin Dive, we're going to get quite a bit less from the follow-up, 171. So a little bit less severe on the damage. Still really good for, adding damage or even going into a displacement move and trying to get somebody out of the ring. But these combos just cost a bit more stamina now if you want to do them kind of in the reverse order of Ender into starter, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Now let's chat more about stamina damage, but with some throwables. For the football and potted plants, they now do stamina damage on hit and block. It was weird that they didn't.
Sure was. You want to throw some of these at me and we'll just check out the stamina damage? Let's do football first. Oh, you got the plant. Let's do the plant first. That's all good. Okay, you got the football. You faking me out. All right, football me. All right, did about 5 on hit. Let's do the football on block. Whoops.
Oh, football first.
Yeah, football on block. Okay, does about 8. And then let's check out the potted plant. This does more, actually. So that does 10 on hit. And then let's check that out on block. About 15. So there you go. A little change, but it was weird that they didn't do any stamina damage before. I'm going to heal up with my gold sauce chicken. Yummy. Ooh, 750. Did I get insatiable? I did. Wow. I'm an unkillable mega god.
Now let's chat the combo limit to low blow. We've added a combo limit to it. This is to avoid a team mode infinite combo.
Yeah, you want to equip this too on our way over? Here, I'll throw one at you.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, so we're previously it was possible in team modes to just do low blows after play dead over and over and over again forever, which was just awful. So we've gone ahead and made the combo limit on that too. So you can see the second hit is going to drop them to the ground. That doesn't mean you couldn't get a follow-up there, Keenan. You go ahead and hit him. There we go. So I could probably get a dolphin dive off that if I'm fast enough. Let me go first, and we'll see if I can get a dolphin dive there.
Sure.
Okay, my turn, your turn. Yeah, so you can still get something there, but you're not going to be able to loop the low blows forever. And then we did something similar with the Liberate. The Liberate was basically a loop you could do forever and do 20 damage per hit and empty their pockets, and now they're going to fall out on the second hit here. Why are you pointing at me? Why are you attacking me? You attacked the bot.
wanted the chicken. Thank you.
Oh, he's stealing my chicken. I need that to heal because you're going to beat me up in this demo.
All right.
All right, thanks. All right, let's do it one more time. First hit, second hit drops the bot to the ground. There you go.
Cool. We've also modified the controls for get up actions so that pressing dash will no longer trigger a dodge. And we ensured that you can still dodge with the dodge input where expected by adding an input slop window no matter which trigger you hit first.
Okay, so the wording there may be a little confusing, but what this means is that Wakeup Dash exists now. So I'm going to show you. Keenan, can you just Irish whip me or something? Or do the highest damage knockdown possible? Hold on, let me eat some food. All right, Irish whip me. So I'm going to mash dash, which would normally dodge, but now it doesn't anymore. And now I just get up. I actually don't dodge. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do wake up dodge by hitting the actual dodge inputs, which is dash and block together. And I still get the dodge as expected. And we've put the appropriate, we call it a slop window there, so that if you happen to hit block a little bit before dash or dash a little bit before block, you're still going to get the dodge you expect at the cost you expect. But what's really interesting is, Keenan, can you throw me onto the ground one more time? I'm going to just mash dash as I get up here. You can actually get up and dash pretty fast. So wake up dash is now an option, which is actually really great because what would happen a lot in the previous version, Keenan, can you get in this ring over here and pretend it's like the ring in the game?
Yeah.
So Keenan would throw me out of the ring with Irish Whip or something like that. He's trying to ring me out. And I need to get back in. Oh, there's a wall. Let's try it again. I need to get back in really quick. So what a lot of people would do is they'd do like wake up block and then mash dash, and they'd get then they'd get a dodge roll. They'd lose all their time doing that, something like that. So now what it'll look like is Keenan will throw me out. I mash dash, and I'm moving right away. It's so much faster. So it's going to lower your frustration when you're at low timers and people are throwing you out of the ring, and it just feels nice. So look forward to that one. I really like that change.
Cool. Next, we fixed an issue where the Woo perk would allow you to cancel Charge Chop directly into special moves. We also found an issue where it would also allow the Woo version of Charge Chop to cancel into a jump. But we like this functionality, so we've extended it to the normal version of Charge Chop.
Yeah. So Charge Chop, when you had the Woo perk, was actually a little bit different in the game's scripts and codes and stuff. And it would allow you to hit somebody, like block this, Keenan. It would allow you to hit somebody and then cancel directly into like a hitting type vicious move, like a Vicious Mist or Liberate, and actually create a situation that was nigh impossible to escape. So we got rid of that. But what we also found on the Woo version of Charge Chop was that after somebody blocked it, you were able to jump out pretty early. And that seemed pretty harmless and felt like it led to some pretty cool offense and a good reward for getting to someone to block a Charge Chop. So we took that feature and added it to the normal Charge Chop so that both the regular Charge Chop and the Woo version have parity and they can both do that thing.
Gotcha. Thanks for the explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've changed air dodge cancel costs for the Rocket family, Dive family, and Edge family. Rocket now gets a bailout on hit, even if it misses for the reduced cost air dodge cancel.
All right, let's check it out. So air dodge costs about that much normally. If I do an air dodge cancel on hit, it costs significantly less than on miss. I guess I could do a rocket jump here and then air dodge cancel, and now you can see it costs what it normally costs. Instead of costing like 60, I lose a pretty normal amount here. And that adds a lot of usefulness to Rocket Jump's traversal to be able to just do that and not lose all of your stamina for having done it. What's next?
Yeah. So the air version of dive also gets a normal air bailout rules and costs immediately after it can hit. But a little bit after that, it gains the ability to use bailout on hit at the reduced
Right.
cost anytime while falling.
So let's check this out. If I use Air Dolphin Dive on Keenan and then I mash, you can block this, Keenan. If I mash dodge, you can see I did the ground dodge because I locked on, so I'll do it from a little farther away and miss. I'm just going to miss. Let me get my stamina. And I do the air dodge. Look at my stamina. I just lost like all of it because of that air dodge. It costs a lot. But what we did was we made it so that if you wait a little bit longer after the dolphin dive, after the hitting portion, and then you air dodge, it actually just costs the normal amount, which feels really good because it really opens up a lot of doors for traversal with this move, and how you can move around with it, and even how far you can reach when you're trying to jump somewhere distant with it. You know, something like that is now possible. So that feels really nice as well. And the last one you mentioned was the Edge family, right?
Yeah, so that is now using the bailout on miss costs. It was using the bailout on miss costs, sorry,
Right.
and that has now been corrected.
Yeah, so you got those really expensive, like 70 cost air dodges after bailing out of the Edge family, and now costs significantly less to do that. So getting your air dodge bailout conversions off of the jagged edge is much easier stamina cost wise now, which really enables the move. It's a move that's pretty useful for enabling other moves, even if you don't have an edge to throw somebody off of. And this really opens up the door for the kinds of setups and combos you can start using Jagged Edge, which I really like.
Right, I love it. I'm a huge Edge fan, and now I'm gonna be using it even more.
Very nice.
Thanks. The team wanted to make the Rocket family more appealing, and so we made the following changes. We've made the Rocket family send you even higher into the air than before. Let's see that demo.
Okay, let's check it out. I'm going to start from the bottom of this ramp, and we'll hit the rocket jump. This is the blue tier one. And I almost made it up that scaffolding. That's an improvement from how high it went before. And we'll go ahead and give that a full charge to see how high we can get. Oh yeah, I can easily make it up on the scaffolding now. That's a nice increase. We'll check out the skyrocket. This is the purple tier. That makes it basically to the bottom of the scaffolding uncharged, but fully charged. That's going to get me all the way up on the highway. Very nice increase in height on the skyrockets and the rocket jump. And that's all we did to it. Just kidding. What else did we do to it?
We've also changed the knockback on Rocket Family to now launch enemies into the air for a follow-up attack. This works great with vicious attacks that deal lots of extra damage from high elevations.
Let's check it out. I'm going to hit Keenan with the blast from the rocket jump. He comes up with me, and then he falls down and takes 7 fall damage. So let's check out the damage on our basic vicious attack. This is a 210. That's a move that does extra damage from heights. So let's do a little science here. Rocket jump into our Izuna drop, 224. So we got a little bit of an increase there. Let's do a charged rocket jump. Let's see how much we can get off that. 261. All right, we're getting up there now. Let's check a skyrocket uncharged. All right, we got 2, I think it was 43. It's expected because it's a little lower than the fully charged rocket jump. Now let's do the fully charged skyrocket and see what we get. Here we go. 288, not bad. So if you pair this with moves like, Crusher. Where'd that Crusher go? I keep not finding it. There it is. Thank you. So, we got Crusher here. This does a lot of extra damage from height. Now, I made the classic mistake with this combo. If I hold the direction, when I hit with this rocket, it pulls me away from Keenan too much. So when you're trying to do combos with rocket, try not to hold the direction so that you're straight up with them. Then you can extend your special move, and I got 381 instead of 316, which is pretty good. Not bad at all. And of course, you can use this in combos. So a good example of that is going to be to get your wall splat in. You're going to come over here, and then I landed it first try. Yay. You're going to see a video later where I do not land it the first try a lot of times. But that was weeks ago when this was a new feature and I hadn't learned as much about how to use it well. You can get it off a charge chop too. I'll probably drop this because it's a lot harder. Yeah. But you can definitely get it off a charge chop with a little practice. Like that. I did it. Yes. Okay, cool. So this really opens the door to quite a lot of damage It's a move that you can move around the world with, and apply all kinds of pressure with from above, especially in team modes. But it's also now a move that can help you convert pretty heavy combo damage.
Yeah.
But there's
Def-
one more change we added to the Rocket family to make sure that you really didn't want to pass it up. Keenan, what did we do?
Yeah, so Rocket Family now lets you unpocket a weapon sooner after it is done launching you, to give players more flexibility in what kinds of actions they want to perform after using it.
Yeah, so I'll say this doesn't really work with the charged skyrocket because it puts you into this special falling state. But if you do the uncharged versions, you used to have to wait till you were almost landed to pull out an item. So I'll hit skyrocket, and then I'd have to pull out an item about here, and it's like, useless. So now what I can do is I can hit it, I can pull out the weapon up here, and I can immediately come back down with an unblockable baseball bat strike. And of course, if I've got a lot of stamina, I can go way up here and do something exactly like that as well for big unblockable weapon strikes off of your skyrockets. So that's a really useful thing as well. But it's not only useful for attacking. Also, if you're running away from somebody, just the ability to pull out this chicken before I land is a huge advantage for me being able to heal up before they can catch up to me. So keep that in mind as well. I think the value of this move is skyrocketed. Sorry for that. And I tend to pick it up every time I see it these days. I think it's a blast. Sorry again to play, and I think you will too. So yeah, skyrocket's back.
Yeah, definitely takes a little bit of practice too. Don't think it's like an automatic. Yep, you gotta get into the nice radius of the player so you're actually landing it.
Again, don't hold the direction. Like if I hold forward towards Keenan when I hit the button, I go past him and then I can't get the follow up. You really need to make sure you don't hold the direction as this goes off. That way you're in the right range for that follow up. So that's my biggest tip to you if you're trying to do these combos is don't hold a direction. I made that mistake for like 2 weeks. Again, you're going to see a video later where I criticize myself for that. So
Definitely some new muscle memory to establish.
yes, for sure.
Welcome, new and improved Rocket family. Next up, Weapon Block VFX have changed to indicate that it is an improved version of blocking. While blocking with a weapon, you will not take stamina damage from incoming attacks, and you will not be stamina broken.
Yeah, that's very true. Keenan, can you block? Can you hold the block? All right. Now check out what my block looks like when I'm holding a weapon. Oh, it's so sparkly and nice. I think it just looks awesome, but it's also a way to maybe hint at players that there's something better about blocking with a weapon, and that is that you do not take stamina damage when blocking with a weapon. So if Keenan tries to attack my shield here, I will not lose any stamina no matter what he tries. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this change to maybe help people discover this feature.
The construction bale and oil drum item cards previously stated vicious stuns, which was not true. Also, these did unusually high stamina damage only when thrown. To make this more deliberate, we've removed the vicious stuns text and replaced it with the high stamina damage text and made the following changes.
Yeah, it was a little haphazard that it only did high stamina damage when thrown and not on any of its other moves. So we wanted to make that something that we actually did on purpose, more deliberately. So here we go. It's a high stamina damage weapon now. It does not stun on Vicious. It never did, so it shouldn't have said that. So Keenan's going to give us a little demo against me, so you can see the stamina damage here. First, we're going to go with the Smash, which is the second hit of the basic combo. This increased to 60 on hit. It used to be 8. This is a huge increase, and 30 on block. So go ahead, Keenan. That's massive stamina damage on hit. Let's go ahead and block that same thing and just see what that looks like. Yeah, pretty big chunk of stamina damage there. That's a big increase. And then on the Vicious Bash, which is the vicious move for this, it used to be 20, now it does 30. So go ahead and do that. Can't block that, it's vicious, but that's a pretty good chunk. And of course, it still does a phenomenal amount of stamina damage when thrown. Go ahead and chuck that at me. Yeah, it's like 75. It's pretty nuts. You want to throw it at me one more time and I'll block it?
Sure.
Yeah, about 25 on block. But yeah, we just wanted to make that more deliberate, so it felt like something that was, done on purpose. Yeah.
Cool. We have made some adjustments to how retargeting during a chain combo series works, so that you can still turn to targets or another nearby player if you aim in that direction, but you will not lose your current target if no new target is available. I'm so guilty of doing this too many times.
Yeah,
so you can thankful for this.
Yeah, with no target here, I can turn just like I used to. I'm holding right, and now I'm kind of turning around looking for that new target. But now I'm going to hit Keenan with this, and I'm going to be mashing every direction. I'll hold my controller up and show you. There's no way for me to turn anymore. If there's no other target to find, I'm going to continue to hit Keenan no matter what. But it still works with other targets that you're deliberately aiming for. So if we can come over here to the bot, I'll show you. I could easily attack Keenan and then turn to the bot, or vice versa. You know, I could attack the bot and then turn to Keenan. It feels really good, and it should prevent you from having those whoopsie moments where you happen to tap left a tiny bit too much, and now you've dropped your very easy punish. And you still might attack a trash can, but hopefully less often.
The team has found that after Meditative's nerfs, players are getting very little value out of it. We tried doubling the healing speed of Meditative to see if that would help in our internal playtests, and found a sharp rise in the desirability of the perk. Let us know how this feels, and we will continue to monitor the state of this perk and make additional changes if needed.
Yeah, there's another reason we made this change, which we'll get to in a second. But Keenan, if you could just wear my health down a little bit here, try and get me to about 100 health or something.
I'm looking back and forth.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I got 417 now. 254. That's good. I'm at 34. Okay, let's check out the meditation speed now. Significantly faster. So, meditate is going to announce to everybody that you're low on health, but this may be a lot more valuable to you now to get to that half health marker quite a bit faster. And again, there's another reason we did this that we will get to in just a moment. Keenan, what's next?
Yeah. So for this last one, we've got a video for you. If we can transition to that, please.
Yeah, as they transition, you want to read the little intro?
Yeah. So the team has made a few major changes to the way the final ring works to improve the pacing of the end game. We can tune a few of these parameters via hotfix, so let us know after a few weeks of play how things are feeling, and we may be able to make some improvements.
Yeah, so we got a video running right now. The first change I want to go over really quickly is that superstar meter gain from taking damage will decrease the longer the match goes on, eventually reaching 0. This means you'll still be able to gain meter normally from attacking, emoting, and other means, but this should drastically reduce the number of occurrences of a high health player getting wailed on and constantly being able to use comeback. But what you're seeing in the video now is I'm zooming in on the ring very closely because it is closing. It is moving no matter what. So that's the other change. People are fighting, and the ring will always be shrinking, no matter what. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It's just shrinking really, really, really slow. But eventually, the ring is going to hit its final size. The final size used to be 500 units. The new final size is going to be 1,200 units, which is quite a bit bigger than it used to be. And there's a good reason for that as well. I'm having my players here in this video stop fighting for a moment so that we can shrink to final size and see why. And the reason is that after reaching the smallest possible size, the final ring is now going to move in a straight line in a random direction at a steady pace until either a winner is crowned or everyone gets pushed into the ocean. Much like Juicy Fruit, this final ring is going to move you. So let's check out the gameplay here. The ring is starting to move right now. Our 4 players have been instructed to fight it out as if it's a normal match, though they did get a heads up on what I was filming here and equipped moves that they felt were ideal for this circumstance. So we'll see how it goes. If we want to kind of call the match, do some commentary. I don't know if Keenan's seen this clip at all, but if you want to talk about what's happening, go for it.
I'm looking over. I'm seeing probably a priority on Cosmo Shot. I've loved the move always. I'd probably grab it in this situation as well because I see that this ring is heading towards the water.
It is. They all head towards the water eventually, right?
Right.
They might send you straight into the water immediately. They may cross the entire island before they get there. This one's headed towards the river. We'll see if our players think, oh, that was a sick move from Sled. We'll see if our players can cross the river or if they get wrung out before then.
Where it is right here, actually, I think there's like a big boat in the middle. So potentially, they could be all jumping across that boat, playing over the danger of the boat or the water around it, and then seeing what happens next. So.
Right. This new ending mechanic really changes the value of a lot of things. Meditate was basically useless at the speed it was healing in a moving final ring. Mm-hmm. And now you can actually use it to sneak in some heals because it's sped up so much. But there are a lot of things like that. Giant swing. Oh, I'll only take it if we're near the water. You're eventually always going to be near the water now if you last long enough, or if your opponents last long enough. So, maybe having one of those in your pocket is a good idea. You're just going to have to re-experience the game and notice that the value of a lot of things have changed just because the way the end of the game works now is pretty different.
Another change that I've learned to appreciate with this is, You know when there's like that random crate super far away that you're not going to be able to reach.
Yeah.
Different crates or different items in the environment, or maybe a pole that was out of reach is going to come into play. So
It
different
might move past the
environmental.
vendor.
Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
those vendors might come into play.
Ooh, big hit into the water from Nate. And let's see. Oh, okay. We're not going to have to cross the river. It looks like he got him. But the ring was going over this boat, so it looks like a river crossing would have been possible.
Yeah.
I think the new end game is really exciting, and I'm looking forward to you guys all trying it. Again, we have some parameters we can hotfix to tune it, so if you're feeling like it's too fast or too slow or whatever, we can take a look at that. But yeah, we're really excited to share that with you. And
Big
I
shake up
think
to how the
that's
game's
it for
played.
balance changes, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now let's head into our bug fixes.
Cool.
First up, our gameplay stuff. We fixed an issue that could cause AOE impacts from elbow drops and other falling attacks to deal damage even when blocked.
Yeah, equip the skyrocket here. We'll just do a demo. When we did the fall damage changes to be additive instead of multiplicative, we made a little error, and some of that damage was sneaking through shields, but it should not anymore. So if you can go ahead and do a really high elbow drop, you can see I can block it, and it will not take any type of damage no matter how high he goes. The shield is good again. And I guess that's technically a rocket jump or skyrocket nerf, but it just got a lot of buffs, so it'll be all right.
Yeah. We've added a possible fix for the Popcorn Party's healing buff getting stuck on a player forever. Let us know if you're still seeing this, though, please.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's fixed, but again, it's hard to prove something is gone. And if you guys see it again, let us know, and we'll take another stab at it. But hopefully it's gone.
Yeah, definitely. We fixed an issue that caused invulnerability to end prematurely when getting up from a ground attack, elbow drop, or similar attack, which could leave you vulnerable but unable to block or dodge. This prevents an inescapable looping reset combo.
Yeah, so what would happen is somebody would use a move that triggers this on you. So it kind of tumbles you backwards and then up onto your feet. And you were invincible for the first half of that, and then you were vulnerable for the back half of that. Our server's about to close, so we'll probably just read the rest of them. Because then we have a video right after this. But you will be completely invulnerable until you're able to block or dodge now after eating one of those wake up elbow drops or those ground attack elbow drops or similar attacks. So no more looping unblockable OTG infinites.
Yeah. Get those out of here.
Yeah. Let's just read through the rest real quick.
Yeah. Fix an issue causing weapon vicious attacks to be blockable if only the AoE portion hits. This affected most weapons in the game, including keybat, bats, golf clubs, barrels, chairs, lawn chairs, residential mailboxes, street signs, trash cans, and chanclas.
That's right.
You fix an issue preventing the air vicious golf club attack from hitting opponents in most situations, leading instead to a fall damage splat for the user.
Yeah, so you can use those again. That's nice.
We fixed an issue that caused players to either not receive fan mail or receive duplicate rewards in fan mail. Fix an issue that caused users to not receive all their title cards. Fix an issue that prevented players from matchmaking into playground mode with a party of 4. Also fixed an issue, various collision and climbing issues across Capital City and Lokiki. And fixed various missing ledge up volumes across Capital City and Lokiki.
Those two changes should make climbing in a lot of the rough spots feel even better now, but of course, more climbing improvements are always coming. If you find spots that feel bad and don't do what you expect, always send in a bug report. It really helps us locate the stuff we need to fix.
Definitely. Thanks, everyone. Now, one last quick bonus. We have a video of a quads match. Let's transition over to that.
Yeah, we're going to show you a full quads match. This is kind of like the world premiere of quads gameplay that you're going to get to see right here. And Keenan and I are just going to talk over it, maybe answer some questions. In this match, you are going to... I'm playing here. You're going to see me take rocket jump and try some rocket jump combos. I'm going to land some of them. I'm going to miss a lot of them. And this was when we had more recently added this change to the game, and I was not very good at them yet. So, you know, be kind. Be kind to me.
I see some point outs of 580 HP. Yes,
that's correct.
You're a little less healthy health-wise there, but you know what? You also have 3 buddies to save you.
Yeah, that's 1 less buddies than you have pod slots because you only get 4 of those. So what you're going to find is you're finished getting ready for battle really fast. You're going to have your stats maxed out. You're going to have your 2 special moves, and you're going to have some items in your pocket. Your team is going to be ready to roam the streets looking for trouble pretty early in the match here. So we're just going to kind of watch this whole match and talk about the game and see how it goes and see what kind of chaos ensues. Right now, it looks like I'm just getting a couple pods. In this mode, you may think, oh, I really want to get the health. I want to get the 4 green pods because my health is so low to start with. And that is a strategy. But, even if you get 4 of them, you're still only getting up to about 1,000. And really, you're going to have to rely more on your teammates to prevent damage and to get those resurrections. But getting resurrections is a lot easier with 4 teammates. Or with 3 teammates, I should say, than it is with just one when you're playing duos. It's a lot harder to kind of control that many people at once, and you can protect each other and all that stuff as well. This match was recorded during a internal playtest, so it has quite a lot of really good Iron Galaxy players in it, and you'll see us come up against a bunch of them as well. Pod count again is 4, so you get 4 pods in this mode.
And with that, I spotted a question. So it's always going to be 10 teams max because you got the 4 people.
There can be more teams if people join with smaller groups. So it is possible for someone to queue in as a duo or a solo or a trio, and the game will try to fill it to 40 players. So it may you may have some teams that are not of 4 people, and that's perfectly okay because you do get more health and pod slots when you are playing in a smaller team. So you can get in here and mix it up that way if you want. This is going to be live on Tuesday, January 17th. All these changes we just talked about, all the new weapons and moves, and of course quad mode is going to be on as a limited time test starting January 17th as well. We got a nice little brawl here. The basic grapple building, not my favorite place to fight. A lot of risk of people falling out of the sky with massive elbows.
Or maybe team.
Yeah, got to stay with the team though. So looks like we're guarding the body. There's a person out of the. Oh, it's my teammate. That was Derek. Shout out to Derek. He's in the chat. He played this match with me as well. Oh, this is a funny moment from the video too because that person right there is playing solo. So they queued in solo to the team's match. That is our lead engineer Ramon. And he thought that he could 1v4 us, I guess, but it does not go well for him. Spoilers. I felt really bad about the bullying we did here. But he
asked
okay
for it, though.
He did. He seemed okay with it. I just got saved. I was about to get supered and obliterated.
When getting hit by your teammate is in your favor.
Yeah. Absolutely very nice. So we're still bullying Ramon in the corner. He has so much health because he's solo. He probably built some green pods too.
When we're playing squads, Adam, do you have a preference on like how you set up that support character with the roars? Have you found like you like both roars on one person, or splitting them apart, or not?
I like to split them apart.
Okay.
I think playing 2 roars is a little tricky because you leave yourself so defenseless. It can be done. I've seen it done. But if you're going to play roars, I think you definitely want to invest in legs. They are really expensive, and you really shouldn't be like in the forefront of the battle for the most part anyway. You should be kind of roaring at the whole crowd and pushing people out of it, and you're going to need a lot of stamina to maintain that, or you're just going to get stamina broken and blown up.
Definitely.
Looks like we're regrouping on the top of this building here, looking for some more trouble. Hopefully we'll find some soon.
Looks like using Sled as the one lone wolf. See, like, hey, come at the unsuspecting area where maybe there's just one person alone, but nope, teammates above.
We didn't have voice comms on for this match, so we had to communicate exclusively with pinging. But yeah, it's a good strategy, is to make somebody look vulnerable and alone while your team is blocking. And then when that person gets inevitably jumped, you kind of all soar in and crush whoever did it.
Here's the.
Oh, I missed it.
Close.
I missed it a ton of times, but I do land some later in the match, so you get to see some practical use of the new rocket jump combos in this video.
What would you say is your favorite move to pair with the new and improved?
With the rocket jump, I really like to pair it with a high damage vicious attack that gets a lot of altitude damage. But if I don't have one, I'll just use the basic Azuna drop, and that's fine. And it still is nice to have a strike on the ground for setting people up for this kind of thing. But what I'm really trying to do is, land a charged chop or a Irish whip, and that's going to be my party starter for getting into a rocket jump combo.
Mm-hmm.
A teammate might be able to set me up for it as well if I have good communication, but our team wasn't on comms at all, so there was no communication.
Mm.
We tripped over each other quite a bit in this fight. I'm trying to stay back and let Derek finish his plate. The team is flying in, and Derek, I went to try and do something. Derek kicked me on accident.
You got caught by it at the top after the rocket jump.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the clip where someone skyrockets, grabs the nice javelin tackle from the top of Grapple, and
Yeah.
big splash.
Yeah, absolutely. And that final ring change we talked about is in all modes. So if you're playing quads or duos and you get to that final ring, it's going to always be shrinking. People are not going to be gaining that superstar meter from taking damage, and when it gets to its final size, it's going to start moving. So it's a really big adjustment. Players are going to have to factor into their strategies for how they win the end game now.
Mm-hmm.
Very different.
Yeah, I definitely feel much more on edge when we get those new final rings, because it's like, where are we heading next? What do I need to prepare for? What can I potentially find on the way to wherever my end water destination is?
Or if it takes you through like a mountain or a tall building, you have to be ready to climb and ascend. And again, that can add a ton of value to a move like rocket jump, where, hey, I don't like rocket jump. I'm in a kind of a flat final ring, and the usefulness of it is more limited. But then the ring starts moving, and suddenly it's incredibly useful to have rocket jump to be able to skirt around some of those obstacles.
Yeah, I've definitely found myself looking at what items I want in my inventory at the end a bit more. Like, I want my 2 weapons, I want my two chickens or nachos. Maybe I want to pocket that magazine instead here, because I might need that change up to help win that final ring.
Right, exactly. You can see I'm going for rocket jump, item unsheath, falling vicious attack setups here a lot as well, which are quite potent.
Nice.
You get really good damage that's hard to counter on big groups of people with it. Now we got a really big skirmish happening here to the side of Grapple building.
Yes,
some Broom action.
Seeing some comments on climbing. Yeah, some climbing changes and improvements definitely added back into the game.
Yep. Yeah, we went over those in the bug fixes section. Doing some work with the broom here in this clip. Got another broom, how fortunate.
Yeah. Oh, I especially love the broom in quads, because then you're just sweeping up huge crowds of people. I almost like pairing it with the Rush family. It's like, I'm coming at you one way, and then I'm coming back the other, or starting with a broom.
I mean, when you're sweeping at people, it's not the fastest in the world, and it's still going to lose to power moves, but that is a weapon priority, moving vicious attack. So you can't block it, it's weapon priority.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not ready to drop kick it, you're just going to get clipped. The damage isn't huge, 80 damage or whatever, maybe more if they have weapon master and some arms, but it can be pretty dangerous.
And you'll see in this quads gameplay, chaos.
Yeah,
There's just so
chaos.
much going on.
This part right here is very chaotic. Watch what happens to me. I'm stunned. I can't get out of the corner. And then a bunch of people have wake up explosions. I get wall splatted a bunch of times. All right, get me out of here. Find a place to eat my nachos in peace.
I really hope for the burn, especially in quads, because it's like, all right, there's probably a bit more pods hanging around that wouldn't be, because the missing pod slots.
Yeah, not only that, but KO'd players in team modes drop pods. Always, they drop pods based on what their build is as well. So gives you more access to using those for the burn or just as throwables.
Yeah. Definitely seen some very fancy combo starters with just throwing a pod.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't do the combo if they die. That one wasn't my fault. You can't finish the combo if they're KO'd. Quite a big skirmish here in the streets. A lot of action. I really love this mode. There's just so much going on, and one of my favorite things to do in games is to try to navigate chaos, and try to control it or mitigate it. And, ooh, that's huge. Oh man. I went way up there for that baseball bat hit. Again, not my fault. They were downed. I can't win the follow-up if they go down. Now you can see me getting a little greedy, trying to land a super or a rocket jump combo for the content, you know?
Content elbows.
That's right.
Yeah, one other thing I've learned to appreciate about quads is like I feel like you opt into the action pretty immediately because it's like time to scrap against all these groups of people, and there's not too much where you're running away and splitting up and looting up. Like your looting gets done pretty quickly, and then it's like, all right, now time to find the enemies I want to chase down.
Exactly.
And you can't like always like leave one untied, loose end. Like you have to clean up the whole team.
Yeah. Oh, I landed the combo. Let's go. One other thing that's interesting too is you may find that when we make changes like we've done here, now suddenly there's a new, especially with perk pairing that didn't make any sense before. So now, if you get pocket dimension, maybe you want rocket jump because now you can rocket up there, pull a trash can or something that has incredible fall damage on it out of your pocket from the rocket jump and then come soaring back down with a big unblockable trash can hit.
Definitely.
And that can be a very potent combo all of a sudden.
All right, now at this point, I believe, yep, final ring's moving. So now I'd be scoping out where do I need to go next, or maybe saving up stamina because there's some buildings I gotta traverse over or around.
Or we just finish the job.
Or finish the job.
And we don't have to worry about it. There we go. Job is finished. No moving final ring in this clip because we got the job done. But that's your first look at quads. It's a roaring good time. Look forward to that. All this stuff again comes out Tuesday, January 17th. After a short maintenance window, and we look forward to watching all your streams and seeing all your content and playing with you as well. And personal thank you to everybody who makes content for the game and streams and stuff. I've seen some really cool cartoons people made recently. All the tournaments are amazing. Even playing matches with the community, like on Tupperware's stream. Even people who aren't necessarily content creators, it's been really fun to hang out with and get to know a lot of people. So, if you're one of those people, thank you. It's been really fun, and I look forward to more.
I'm very thankful that we're all on the same team. It's been great to be in each other's streams, talk on Discord, Reddit, everywhere. I'm so thankful for you all. It's really nice that we get to make this game together.
Yeah, your room got really dark over the course of the stream.
That's just what happens in the Chicago area this evening. But thank you, everyone. That is our show. We will be signing off. I hope you enjoyed or are excited to try out the new changes, and we'll be seeing you on January 17th for that new update. And in the meantime, we'll be catching you in Grapple and Loki Key very soon, I'm sure. This evening, probably.
Yeah, I'll be on.
Yeah. All right, thanks, everyone.